about Egypt, a land where geography is practically throwing a party, with the Nile River leading the Conga Line as the longest river in the world. Yep, that's right. The Nile Valley and Delta have been the VIPs for Egyptian civilization, ensuring everyone has enough to eat and drink. I mean, can you imagine a huge, thirsty civilization without a massive river? Talk about a desert disaster. When we think of ancient Egypt, we can't help but marvel at its architectural wonders. It's like they had a never-ending supply of bricks and a severe case of, let's build something grand. The Great Pyramids and the Sphinx are prime examples, practically shouting, "Look what we can do." These structures are proof that they knew how to stack some stones. And let's face it, they were probably the original home improvement show stars, long before it was cool. But hold on to your hats, folks, because modern Egyptian culture doesn't just stop at pyramids and pharaohs. Oh no, it's a vibrant mixtape of ancient traditions mashed up with contemporary beats. With the majority of Egypt's population being Arab, it's like a historical potluck where everyone brings their best dish to the table. You get the rich flavor of the past with a sprinkle of the present, a culture that keeps evolving faster than your teenage kids change their wardrobes. And speaking of flavor, let's dive into Egyptian cuisine. This isn't your average dinner plate, folks. We're talking about iconic dishes like kos hari and FME dames. It's a culinary carnival. These dishes are the culinary heritage of Egypt, throwing a flavor fiesta in your mouth. Who knew beans, rice, and pasta could get along so fabulously? It's like the United Nations of food. Now, let's not forget about those great pyramids of Giza, built more than 4,500 years ago. Yes, that's older than your great-great-great-great-grandma. These iconic structures aren't just fancy rock formations. They served as royal tombs for pharaohs. Who doesn't want to be buried in a ginormous triangle, right? It's the ultimate resting place. Talk about taking your home decor to the next level. And if you're curious about ancient treasures, the Egyptian Museum in Cairo is like the jackpot of history. It houses an extensive collection of artifacts that'll have history buffs doing happy dances. You'll find treasures from the tomb of Tutankhamun, and let me tell you, these artifacts are shinier than your kids' eyes when they see ice cream. It's a glimpse into a world that's rich in stories and secrets, and maybe a mummified cat or two. Now slide into the 1960s, and we've got the Aswan High Dam, one of modern engineering's big deals. This marvel helps control the Nile River's flow like a boss and provides essential hydroelectric power for Egypt's infrastructure. It's like Egypt's very own superhero cape, ensuring everyone has power without needing a magic wand. Who knew dams could be so electrifying? Well, now you do. Feeling artsy? The Temple of Philae, dedicated to the goddess Isis, is your go-to place. With exquisite reliefs and stunning structures, it showcases ancient Egyptian artistry that'll make even the most distinguished artists stop and say, "Wow." This temple is dripping with artistic charm and rich religious practices, kind of like the Renaissance had a fabulous Egyptian cousin, and they decided to throw an art show. And then we have Mount Sinai. This is where Moses supposedly received the 10 Commandments. It's like the original How to Live Your Best Life manual. Pilgrims and adventure seekers flock here, hoping to soak in its historical significance. Just imagine climbing that mountain. You get a workout and some divine wisdom, all in one. Talk about multitasking. Let's not leave out the ancient sites like the Citadel of Cape Bay and the steep pyramid of Djoser. These landmarks are not just pretty faces. They tell stories of Egypt's historical significance and amazing architectural skills. Every year, they attract hordes of visitors, making them the ultimate tourist magnets, like the Kardashians of ancient history. And if you're a history buff, you'll want to check out Islamic Cairo. It's an architectural treasure chest. This area is packed with stunning mosques and historic districts that reflect the richness of the medieval period. It's like a time machine where you can walk through history while pretending to be an explorer, minus the maps and compass, of course. Last but definitely not least, we have the Nubian villages. These charming communities along the Nile River offer a vibrant glimpse into the heritage of the Nubian people with their colorful houses and friendly locals. Think of it as a picturesque postcard come to life. Plus, You can hop on a boat tour and soak in all the sights while feeling like you're in a travel commercial. Who's ready for an adventure?
الليل نادي يلا نرقص روحنا حرة خدنا الهوس الطفي دق قلبي حفك اغني نعيش وما حدا يوقف هيا هيا يلا نطير قبلك تخطو الحلم كبير هيا هيا طرب وسرور نرقص نحيا في شعور النور الطبل يغني صوت السحاب ايديك تلمع زي الشهاب ندور قلبنا يدور فرحة ملانا تشرب كالنور هيا هيا يلا نطير قبلك تخطو حلم كبير هيا هيا ضرب وسرور نرقص نحيا في شعور النور هيا هيا يلا نطير قبلك تخطو حلم كبير هيا هيا ضرب وسرور نرقص نحيا في شعور النور يا سلام يا سلام احساس رهيب الجو تمام خطوات قريبة
You know, when someone says, oh, boy, it's like they just opened a mystery box of emotions. It can show surprise, frustration,
golden sands beneath the sun they gleam Pharaoh's echoes whisper through the stream Pyramids stand watch through night and day Ancient spirits walk where the shadows lay May's soft call sings out the desert's hymn Palms sway slow in rhythm on a wind The moonlight bathes the land in velvet glow Stories of old carved where the cool winds blow
It's like the speaker is throwing confetti in the air, celebrating urban life and community vibes. It perfectly captures the delightful chaos of modern identity, where everyone is racing around like they're in a never-ending game of hopscotch. And let's not overlook the power of repetition. It's like when your favorite song gets stuck in your head. It helps important ideas stick like peanut butter on toast.
Weeps as the heart beats pine Melodies lost in whispers divine Nails descend as dusk begins to sing Dreams of kings and queens it softly brings The heartbeat of a land so proud and wide In each chord the essence of the Nile's tide Whispers of the Nile, a river serenade Timeless secrets flow
Music in videos is like the icing on the cake, essential for elevating emotions and creating that uplifting atmosphere. Picture it, watching a heartwarming family reunion with the perfect soundtrack playing, making you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Just remember, don't dance too hard, or you might scare the cat. When someone says, I'm sorry, they might as well be handing out emotional hugs. It reveals guilt or regret, and honestly, saying it the right way can be like upgrading your Wi-Fi to the next level, strengthening those important relationships in our lives, especially when dealing with family feuds over who gets the last slice of pizza. Repeated phrases can really hit the emotional nail on the head. It shows how vital language is in expressing those complex feelings we sometimes bottle up, much like how kids bottle up their feelings about eating vegetables. It's a roller coaster of emotions that we all go through. And let's not forget about saying thank you. It's like giving out gold stars for good behavior. Gratitude reinforces those positive interactions that keep our family ties strong, like the glue that holds our refrigerator artwork together. But hey, if you find yourself saying I'm sorry over and over again, it could mean you're on an emotional seesaw. It highlights just how heavy an apology can feel in our interactions, much like trying to lift a heavy bag of groceries with only one hand. It's no cakewalk. And when you hear the American people mentioned repeatedly, it's like an enthusiastic cheer from the crowd. It points to national sentiment and reminds us of our collective identity, kind of like when the entire family gets behind a football team. Go team! Finally, as we transition between different languages and music segments, it's like hopping on a